This is Shantal, their Boghosian.
And Ulises Guzman.
And we're here to share our weekly podcast with all of you. Join us every week. See you there.
Happy Sunday Fun Day. Well, I guess it's not really Sunday Fun Day. I didn't drink no mimosas.
Oh, sometimes the ghetto in you just comes out.
You could take the kid out of the hood, but you can't take the hood out of the kid.
So you grew up in the hood, huh?
Yeah, I did. But hey, a little bit of slang is not bad. But when it comes to work, I'm very professional, articulate,
Yeah, I guess that's easy to do when you have a bouffant over your face all day.
Exactly. With the coronavirus, I'm glad I'm wearing a bouffant and face mask.
It doesn't do anything for you.
I know, it doesn't. Yeah.
I wanted to talk about Kobe.
What can I say? Mamba out.
Oh, yes. Where were you when you heard the news?
The real answer?
Yes.
I was in the bathroom.
I know. Where the bathroom is the place where everyone checks their phone. Yeah.
Actually, I didn't have my phone on me. You yelled out, Kobe Bryant is dead.
Yeah. I mean, I couldn't believe it. I was scrolling through Instagram and it's, at Kobe face. Underneath it is his date of birth and the date of when I found out. I was like, rest in peace. And I thought it was just an analogy because, LeBron James
just beat him the night before.
Yeah,
the record or whatever.
So that was an analogy of that. And then, I kind of tapped on it and scrolled through and it said he passed away because of a helicopter crash.
And that story just got sadder and sadder and sadder with every update, man.
Dude, seriously. Richie Valens died of a plane crash. Aaliyah died of a plane crash. JFK Jr. died of a plane crash. An aircraft.
So many people have died.
Seriously.
Of a plane crash.
Yeah, this is like bad luck.
No, I mean, it was bad luck. That's what it was. But then I remember we went hiking the day before and we went to Los Leones and it was so foggy. And the conditions were just as bad the next day, Sunday. But I guess they didn't really know about that because they were coming from Orange County. And the pilot, who was Armenian, by the way, he was trained to fly in those bad conditions. But it was just bad luck hitting the mountain. It's crazy.
We could just blame, he said, she said, we could blame on someone. But at the end of the day, when you're piloting an aircraft, there's no room for error. That slight error could cost you everything.
But we don't know what happened. We don't know what happened. At the end of the day, it was an accident that unfortunately killed many people. Yeah. And it just breaks my heart for those 13-year-old girls in that helicopter. It's just, the story's so sad.
Yeah. And mind you, one of the many people, and I'm sure a lot of people are not going to speak out of this because to have respect for Kobe. But, I told my coworkers on Monday that I wasn't a fan of Kobe. Like, I respect him as a philanthropist, a father, a talented basketball player, 20 years in the league playing for LA. I got to respect that. But I also know him as the ball hogger, the selfish player, the cocky player.
He was cocky.
Yeah, and that's just a personality that a lot of fans either will like or dislike.
Now, I was actually never a fan of the Lakers, and all of LA must be wanting to kill me right now. But I just wasn't a fan of the Lakers, and I grew up with Kobe, right? But you could not be a fan of Kobe, but still grieve this loss.
I agree. I mean, I love the Lakers with Showtime, Magic Johnson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and, the dynasty. How can I forget that? The three-peat. But, when Shaq left because of the drama and, and that's when I started to not be a fan of Kobe. But, of course, nonetheless, I respect him as a talented player, his work ethic. And I think, a lot of people are fans of him because of that hard work and just positive mindset, the mama mindset.
And there was a lot of good things about that, but
so it's good to be a hater, But to be a hater is to love him, and when he passed away, yeah, I was shocked, and I didn't cry. I mean, I wasn't sobbing.
I did because of the girls and the families, and I'm telling you, every story got worse. I mean, the parents died with their daughter and left 2 kids behind.
Sad situation.
Like, every death made a huge impact on the family, and I really feel for all of them, and I particularly feel for Vanessa because, to lose your daughter and your husband, and there has to be guilt.
Cold turkey.
Yeah, but not that. Like, she has so much pressure on her, right? Because the entire public is watching her and her reactions. She has 2 little ones at home. She has an adult teenager who lost her sister, and I've been looking at her posts, and I think they're very not controlled. They're very composed. And I know grieving is a process, and maybe it hasn't hit her yet, but I don't ever want to be in her shoes. And if she's listening, I'm sorry I said that, but it's just, what if you grieve more for one person than the other? Then you have this guilt.
Right.
I mean, you're losing your daughter. If I lost you and I lost our kid, which we don't have one, but if we did lose our hypothetical kid, yes, I would miss you, but I would feel more of a loss over my kid.
Oh, of course. I think every mom would feel that way. It's, losing your kid is like the worst pain in the world. I could only imagine, because it's just a mom instinct to love the kid unconditionally, no matter what they do. Love them unconditionally. But
it's crazy when I think about it. So I'm a very spiritual person, and I know it doesn't make sense because I'm a scientist, a chemist, an engineer. I should be rational, but I'm Armenian from South America, and we call ourselves the brujas, which is witch in Spanish, but we believe in the evil eye, and we believe in a lot of things. And one thing I truly believe in is reincarnation and past lives and the spirit and how it just evolves into different forms. And when you look at Kobe's life, so if you've ever done a past life regression, the meditation guides you through the process, and it makes you go and up until you're in this trance where you could enter that life. And the person guiding you through this reincarnation meditation asks you to look at your death and then look at your life and see what you've learned from it. And so you kind of piece together the meaning of that life. And it's crazy because with Kobe and Gigi, it's just obvious that everything led to that moment, but you wouldn't have known until you look back at everything. I mean, just look at the memorial, for example. They chose February 24, 2020. 2/24/2020. Gigi's jersey was number 2. Kobe's was 24. And the year is 2020. He had just celebrated 20 years of marriage with Vanessa Bryant. And he celebrated 20 years. Well, he didn't. He was with the Lakers 20 years. You had to die a certain time for that to work out.
Mind blown.
And then another one. So I saw this posted online. I'm not taking credit for it. If you add the birth year and the death year of Kobe and Gigi, it comes out to 8,024.
Man, people have a lot of time on their hands.
But think about it. That's not the point. It's the spirituality part of it. 8 and 24. All the numbers add up. All the stories add up. If you look at all the pictures of Kobe Bryant and his daughter throughout their lives, the signs are there that they're just really strong soulmates that are going to be together in eternity. So it just the more these stories pop up, the more mind blown I am. It's like, wow, you had a really definitive purpose in this planet. You came, you were in the Lakers, and then right before he died, look at all this. He won his Oscar for a basketball documentary. So he was able to tell his story one last time before dying. And the day before LeBron beat his record, and his parting words to LeBron were congratulations. He literally passed the baton on and died. It's crazy.
Could be a movie. There could be a movie out of this.
It's just crazy.
No, I don't know. I think
Ulises isn't as spiritual as me.
No, I don't believe there's a heaven or hell, or it's a nice notion that people go up and
there's no up or down in the spiritual world. You just are.
Why does everyone assume that anyone that dies they go to heaven? Nobody says, I bet he's looking down at us, screaming at us.
Well,
everyone assumes everyone goes to heaven. It's a nice notion because it gives you peace of mind, some sort of like warmth.
That's religion. So
but they add religion into the grieving process.
The religious people are the ones who believe in up and down. The spiritual people know that you just coexist. You are.
I mean, when I see this is not Kobe. This is like just anyone. You see on Instagram when someone famous dies, it's like automatically heaven. And I'm like, well, it is nurturing, when you're grieving, it does help you out throughout that process. But man, I don't know. I don't think there is such a thing as heaven and hell.
There isn't. You just are.
I think
spirit just is, and it just goes on the level of development of your spirit. So that's why you return to lives, and it's not the lives as we know. It could be in any dimension. It could be in any part of the universe. But the soul returns and returns and returns until it learns lessons and continues to develop into a better self. So what you characterize as devilish or bad, that's a soul who hasn't learned yet. So it returns until it learns its lessons. And if you guys want to learn more about souls and reincarnation, I highly recommend Dr. Brian Weiss. I mean, I stumbled upon his book when I was 13 and changed my life forever. And we start thinking of life in that viewpoint, it really changes how you approach things.
I don't know. I don't think about the spiritual
I know you don't.
I'm more into the now, into the reality, because that's the present reality that I'm in now. It's what's relevant to me, and that's what I need to. It affects me entirely. Spirits don't affect me.
Every moment affects you.
Yeah,
every moment, past, present, and future.
Yeah, well, the present, it's what any action that I take now will affect me in the future.
But are you thinking of your future self?
Huh?
Are you thinking of your future self?
I'm in the present, but the present will affect the future. So even though I'm focusing on the now, it's going to affect me in the future. But the past is the past. I mean, you got to leave the past if you want to grow, right?
But you have to learn from past lives.
Yeah.
To understand your current life.
I believe in the Hakuna Matata. Forget the past, live in the present. Okay,
but
no worries.
This has nothing to do with it.
I'm open-minded to it. Just give me some.
I need to give you some ayahuasca.
Some ayahuasca.
Douse you in some open-mindedness. All right, I'm going to take you to a past life regression session.
But it's like maybe it's a bad comparison. It's like you're there and you're going to tell them what you see. Now, of course, there's a possibility. I'm agnostic. There's a possibility for anything. I'm open.
How did we go from Kobe to this? This was supposed to be in memorandum.
I was trying to stick to the Kobe subject, and then you went on a segue about
because
Brian Weiss
and
all that stuff.
When you look at Kobe's life and his relationship with Gigi, everything stacks up, and it just makes sense the way it ended. I mean...
No, this was just an accident. This wasn't planned. This wasn't destiny.
Please tell me someone out there understands what I'm trying to say.
I'm sure... No.
I'm not saying it was planned. I'm saying his soul met its purpose in this life.
No, he had a lot more to give.
Wow.
It was just cut short, unfortunately. That's what made it tragic. I mean, if this was the case, we were like, well, this was his end because it was just meant to be. If he would have died at the age of 90, he would have given so much. You
don't know that.
He was about to.
He was, but sometimes you just don't know where lives are going to go. You don't know where the future would have led.
And that's why a lot of people are mourning. Millions of people are mourning. It's because they knew that he was doing great things and he was going to he was very ambitious. He wanted to give out to the community and for the game of basketball and facilitate a lot of kids all over the world. And women's basketball especially. And, for his work to be undone, not finished because of that tragic incident.
Well, but
that's the sad part.
Well, I'm going to play devil's advocate here. I don't think his work is unfinished because his death has affected so many people worldwide. I saw the Mamba mentality hashtag being shared everywhere, and maybe he transferred his work to the rest of the world, and it's now on us to complete what he was trying to achieve. Brought a collective mass together in mourning. Doesn't matter about your race, your color, where you are in the world.
I mean, that's what sucks, that we get together when someone dies. I think that goes with family too.
And I feel for it. I feel for all those families.
Yeah, people die every day, and it's people will say that, like, well, okay, why the big hype? People die every day, but he influenced a lot, and that's why he's getting the attention, well deserved. But we all meet our maker. Life is not guaranteed, so just handle your business, stay in your lane, and do the best of your abilities to change the world.
And be the best version of yourself.
Yeah, or change, the people, change the environment around you.
Our heart mourns for those who have passed and for the families affected.
Well, I was shocked for a couple of days. After that, I was over it. I mean, because...
That's so harsh to say.
No, I mean, I'm going to be real here. Like, if I didn't know them... Well, yeah, it sucked, and, my heart goes out to them. But after the third day, life goes on. I have to work. I have to, I'm just handling my own business.
No, that's fine.
And, but I can't be emotionally invested to people that I've never even met. And that's just me being real about it. And, some people might take it the wrong way, and some people might say, yeah, I'm in the same boat. Are you
taking it the wrong way? Leave a comment below. I mourn for those kids. I mourn for the lives lost. And I hope they all find peace. So I do want to end this podcast with a moment of silence. It's starting in 3, 2, 1. All right. Well, thank you for listening to another one of our podcasts. If you enjoyed this material, I know today's was a little bit more of us bickering and ranting a little bit at each other, but leave your comments below. Give us some feedback. We're trying to make the podcast a little longer based on what we've heard from our listeners.
We tend to have segue conversations, so if you like that, well, trust me, we'll be all over the place.
So feel free to leave topics that you want us to discuss, and we'll do a live chat so you guys could all sit in with us. See you guys all next time.
Auf Wiedersehen.